Wait, hold up. I'll give you guys a countdown.
Okay,
All
cool,
right.
cool.
Whenever you guys are ready.
Hi, you joined me live from inside Vanilla Unicorn. Where once again I'm, giving rebirth to a series that I did down in Colombia. We're trying to get to the underground of the new city. We're in Los Santos. We're coming from Los Santos this time. Okay, I'm here with Mr. Lewis. I'm just going to ask Mr. Lewis a few questions, and we're going to try and get down deep into this city. We're going to try and uncover quite a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. So, Mr. Lewis, you born and raised in LS, or did you come from elsewhere?
Yeah, I was born here, but yeah, my mother married my father, and he was a military guy. So I grew up on the military bases around the world.
Okay, cool. So, what was that like then with being bred into a military family? I bet the discipline's quite high with that.
Oh yeah, when I turned 18, I joined up myself, and I spent 12 years down in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Oh wow, that's brilliant. Would you care to elaborate on that? I mean, I was also in the British Army myself, so we might have some stories to swap with you after. But if there's anything you don't feel you want to talk about, we can cut it out or whatever in the final edit. But if you want to tell your story, dude, you carry on, man.
I'm not really here to tell my story. I'm really here to, inform a problem the truckers been having lately.
Okay, if do you want to tell me about those?
Yeah, you know, lately there were job openings for truckers, so a few of us finally managed to get into that because it's been a closed profession here for quite a long while. And
Oh, cool.
yeah, then a few days ago, there was somebody who were breaking a few laws and cheating the system and kind of doing a bit of tax evasion and stuff. And then the city council decided to cut back on a few of the benefits of the job. And we thought that was it, and maybe they would restore that after a while, but that didn't happen. Instead, they decided to give us further pay cuts, and that's after they gave pay raises to just about any other profession here in town. So we've been fucked over majorly, and oh, sorry, it's on TV, isn't it?
It's okay. It's okay. You're allowed to swear.
All right, all right. Well, anyway, yeah, sorry, I lost my head there for a bit.
So what you're saying is basically, the hard-working guys of the city, you physically feel that you're being shattered by the state. Basically, is the gist I'm getting.
Yeah, they're fucking over the working man. They kind of want to push us all back into the life of crime, so probably cops get a bit more to do. Well,
I
I'm
mean,
not.
the things I've noticed since coming to LS, and coming to America as a whole, for such a free country, you don't seem to have, much freedom. Just, you know?
What is freedom, huh? Freedom is a fancy
Well, I
word.
know,
It's an idea.
mm, yeah, no one will ever be free. I've been all around the world. I've interviewed loads of different people, and you know, even down in London, back in the UK, there's no such thing as freedom of speech anymore.
No. Well, we have it better over here than you have over there, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to talk with you off camera about what London and the UK is like. So yeah, tell us a bit more about you growing up in LS. What was that like?
Well, I grew up not far from here, just a few blocks over, actually. My mother was my mother was Mexican, so she kind of grew up on the east side of town here. But yeah, when she married my father, we kind of started moving around the world, and I've seen a lot of the world, but I don't really have any childhood friends from here. So coming back, I kind of saw all of the old sites from when I was a little kid, but most of my childhood friends, I think, are either dead or in jail or moved somewhere else.
I'm at the understanding that LS is pretty has a pretty unusually high crime rate. I mean, would you care to elaborate on that? Do you know anything about that at all? Is it rough? Is it really hard growing up in this city?
Back in the days, this used to be a kind of an industrial powerhouse of the West Coast. But yeah, when the car industry and the steel industry and everything started going abroad, it kind of impoverished the working class. Then you got generations upon generation of people without work. You've probably experienced some sort of stuff like that over in the UK as well, with exports of industries and impoverished working class.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much had the same over in the UK. I mean, back way back in the day, before I was even born, we had a Prime Minister, Margaret Thatcher. She's sort of like the equivalent of a president, basically. And she basically closed down industry in the UK. And if you haven't heard, 2018 now, the UK's crime rate is just unusually high, especially in the capitals. So I mean, what this series is all about is how unfair it is being a hard working class individual like yourself. I mean, what's the hardest part about living in LS?
The hardest part about living in MLS is definitely finding a job. That's mostly why people turn to crime. That's because they have to have something to do, and they have to have some way to earn money. When they fuck over the working class again, nobody wants to work if they don't make shit.
Okay, Mr. Lish. Well, firstly, I'd like to, thank you very much for, answering my questions, and I'd like to speak to you again at some point. Hopefully in a place a bit more quiet, so we can, really get down and deep into, your life and what you're about, really, sir. But, I just really want to thank you for your time and patience.
Yeah, sure thing.
Okay, well, you heard it here first. This is Alex Russell from Weazel News, signing off.
Got it. Awesome.
Perfect.